Welcome, everybody, to the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. Thank you for being here. And for everybody tuning in live, first of all, let me say thank you for being here. We have missed you. It's been a big week. It's a big week in gaming. It's good to see you. For those of you that are listening, thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, rate, review, and subscribe to us on Spotify, and also on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show. Now, before we get going here, we have to give a spoiler warning because we're going to be talking the Halo series right now.
The TV show.
The TV show. And we're going to go over everything. We're not going to leave back any spoilers. So if you've not watched it, if you want to watch it, now is your warning. Turn us off. Come back when you've watched the whole thing. Or you're welcome to stay and decide if the series is for you, because we have a lot to say about it. Yeah. A whole lot to say about it. And we're going to start right now. If you go to Twitter, you can see my review of Halo. I was in
one GIF.
In one GIF. I enjoyed it. Well, first, I guess I have to shout out Beast. He says, "Happy birthday, sir! Tier 5 Master Chief."
Yay.
Super chat. Thank you very much. It is my birthday. I'm an old man. Beast actually sent some gifts that we're going to open at the end of the show here. So thank you very much, Beast. Stay tuned for that.
So you're going to be talking about episode 1.
Yeah,
episode one. Episode 1, right here.
Jordan.
Spoiler alert. Major spoiler alert.
So just so to be clear, I have not seen it, but Jordan and David has. But because of how the show is kind of marketed towards me, I have no desire to see it.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So
you don't mind spoilers?
I don't mind spoilers right now, just so everyone knows. 2 out of the 3 bros have seen it here.
yeah.
I want to be clear.
It's not bad, but it's also not good. It's just meh. And on Twitter, if you go to my Twitter page, it says I enjoyed the first
15-20 minutes.
I enjoyed the Halo show until the last 20 minutes, and then it's just like giant question mark in my face. Like, what? Why did you do that? Here's the thing. Let me start on the good. I think that they nailed the guns and the gun sounds.
That's cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, that's fair.
I think they started out really interesting and really good.
I think it started out very strong. I will give them that. The first 20 minutes, whoever that guy was, keep him going.
They fired him.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he must have had a baby or something. But
and I even didn't mind. Arctic Storm says Chief doesn't feel like Chief. I think there's multiple reasons for that. The voice, I don't know why you don't just get, what's his name, Jack Downs?
Well, I know why they don't get him, because of which we'll talk about later, but the D-helmet scene is why you don't get him.
Yeah, okay. So
hold on. So they did it because you're actually going to see a face. Why don't they just Hercules and New York him?
You know?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, guys, I actually, to be honest with you, I don't mind the voice of him, and I actually don't mind the actor.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like, I actually don't mind it.
It does throw me at first.
Yeah, it does, because you're used to something.
But the voice is not bad.
Yeah.
But, just like everything else, it's not good either.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Okay, now here's how I can just summarize the first episode of Halo. Steve Downs. Did I say John Downs? Steve Downs. Brian F., thank you very much. Imagine if you're watching Star Wars, the original Star Wars, and they start with Darth Vader unmasked.
Yeah.
What does that do to Darth Vader the rest of the show? He's all of a sudden not as a big scary bad guy.
Yeah.
That's what they did with Master Chief. We had heard that, yes, they're demasking Master Chief. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Let's see how that. You imagine that's going to be a climax. Nope, it's episode 1 right away.
Well, and so here's my issue with it. So we'll talk about the first 20 minutes later, because the first 20 minutes
and when
I thought
takes
was
off his mask, he's kind of a hipster. That's how I feel.
I didn't mind. I didn't mind the look of him. I don't.
He's a gym bro.
So this is a. Well, that's probably what they would be.
No, but not in a good way.
No,
you know the TikTok video of the dude humping the ball on the wall, like pounding it, and they're like, "What is he working out?" That's.
I didn't mind the look of the actor, I guess, and I actually didn't mind his acting, like when he was non-helmet Master Chief. The problem I had with it is, it's just. I agree with you. You should have led up to it. The way they did it, like,
it's very anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's just so this is they're calling this the Silver Timeline. So this is a completely separate timeline. It's not canon. It's Earth 2 multiverse. It's completely different, right? So if you really want to demask the guy, it's like, okay, fine. If you really want to do it, I'm okay with it. And I was okay with it because we knew going in that they were going to unmask.
Sure.
Which in the games, I don't think you should do it for many reasons. But since this is a completely separate timeline, its own story, whatever, I understand there's going to be changes, and I'm okay with it. But like you said, the way they did it, there was no lead up to it. There was no build up to it. You didn't really get to see why Master Chief is the legendary soldier.
Yeah,
it was just it was and the way they did it, and this I think goes to the writing. I think the biggest hurdle they have to overcome is
bad writing.
Because
really
to be honest, I saw people talking about like acting, and so I didn't really mind the acting. Miranda Keyes was a little bit.
I would have paid for better actors.
Well, I'd fix the writing first. The acting I can look past if it's a good story.
The best acting was the CGI.
Well, and there was some CGI that looked kind of janky. So, but
I was expecting the writing to be poor. Just the marketing, I guess the articles I read on it, before anyone has ever even seen it, was they were being excited about how they have never played the games and how it's going to be a quote-unquote fresh take on the series, and they were excited that they were going to change the story. And that does not feel good to me as someone who likes the story a lot. I mean, it's kind of annoying because they've done that with a lot of things. I was having this conversation with you guys. Think of the last decade. How many times they've tried to change stories when they had a perfectly good storyboard of a lot of things. I would say there are two shows in the last decade that has done well on like respecting the original story, and they were successful because they stuck with it, and that's Invincible and The Witcher. I don't think there are other shows, unless you can name some, that in the last decade.
And what are all the shows from books that we've gotten? Let's see.
Well, I'm including stories that were stories before they were movies. So, an example, comics, and we have had a lot of comic movies.
I think they've done some comics, right? No.
In the last decade.
Yeah, I think the Spider-Mans have been pretty like Into the Spider-Verse was really good.
Into the Spider. Okay, that's true.
The Batman,
I'll
Batmans
concede
have been pretty
that.
decent.
I just when I hear that they are, proclaiming that
it's an eye roll.
We're not gonna. This is not gonna be canon. It's gonna be awesome, everybody. We're gonna change the story. We haven't even played the game. It's gonna be so good. I'm out.
Well, see,
I'm out.
The whole like, I mean, it's. Like, I don't mind that it's not canon. I don't mind the, like, hey, we want to do a fresh take on the series. That I don't mind. The whole, like, hey, we didn't play the games and we don't care type of thing. That's kind of like, well, I mean, you should at least see the roots of the story and why the story is popular, and then you can adapt, some of those elements.
Agreed.
Because, like I said, like again, I don't mind the unmasking.
I mind it a lot.
But the problem is
I would mind it too.
The problem is I don't want it in the game, and I don't want it in the game for a lot of reasons. But the problem is the way they did it. So essentially, they did it because he needed to basically show the Quan is her name, that he was human. Like they're fighting the same fight type of thing. He was trying to be sympathetic towards her, kind of like George in in Reach when you fight through I think it's the second level, and he takes off his helmet and he calms the lady down. Right, that's fine, but the problem is there was just no. It's the way it was delivered, because basically what happens is she's from an insurrectionist planet. She's an innie, right? So she goes, "I'm gonna shoot you in the head," and he goes, "No, you're not. This is Mjolnir." But wait, and then he takes off his helmet. My face, and it was very poorly delivered.
So. This is my argument I've said on the show a million times. This is the art of movie making. I do a lot of movie making. I do a lot of photography, cinematography in my line of work, and it gets more and more difficult to watch TV shows and movies for me, because I feel as though the art of pacing and flow in stories has degraded to the point where it's for me that notices that appreciates that is very unenjoyable. And like I said, I have not seen this series, but I have watched a lot of poor shows in the last 5 years that have destroyed my stories that I've loved and everything like that because of poor writing and poor choice in the flow and pacing of these stories. And what you're saying, I feel like that's an example of that.
That's actually a great way to say it. The whole him taking off his helmet scene was just bad placement and bad pacing. It didn't work. It didn't feel good. And because you're basically being told that he is humanity's greatest weapon, he takes off his helmet, and then from that point forward, which is basically, I think there's another 10 minutes left in the show, it doesn't feel like Master Chief anymore. And I don't think
he doesn't put it back on.
No, he doesn't put it back on. And I don't think
in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, he's playing on easy mode, obviously. He's not going for that legendary achievement.
And again, that's not due to the actor, because I actually like the look of the actor. Like, I think he looks like, okay, I can get behind this guy as being, John, or like, I don't think it's because of the acting. I do think it's because of the writing. I think the writing is the weakest part of the show.
Yeah, the writing,
and the
writing's not good. And I think, Spicy, to your point, there's when you play the games, there's a reason that you love Master Chief, and there's a mystique to him and a badassery that is told throughout the story or throughout the games. In fact, in the first game, it's told in the first level. And they don't ever establish that. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, okay, as I'm watching it, like, okay, if I am not a Halo person, if I know nothing about the story, I've never played the games, what am I thinking right now? And what I'm thinking is, this is just a bad sci-fi show. Like, I have no idea. Okay, so they tell me that the actors say, the Halsey and the Admiral say, oh, well, he's our greatest weapon. Okay, but you have to show the audience
dialogue does not match the pacing and the writing.
Yeah,
there's other movies. I'm going to say this again. You can mute like good movies from decades ago, even closer, further away. Just good movies. You can mute a movie. Mm-hmm. You could try this if you wanted to. Mute the movie, and the story can still be told without dialogue and music because of how good the cinematography is.
Oh, yeah.
There's a story within a story. The art of that is fading. Yeah. I feel like the art of that, the art of writing, the art of pacing, the art of the edit, I feel like a lot of shows nowadays, it's just fading. I'm going to get off my soapbox, I promise, David, but I feel like that is...
Yeah,
well, my impression of what's happening.
Like I said,
I don't know that it's fading. In other words, like it's going away. I just think it's consolidating. We've had this discussion before, but
yeah,
it's consolidating. What do you mean? It's going to?
So like there are. I mean, for instance, a really good movie in 2022. Let's say a really good movie made is one of the top movies made of all time, but there's not as many good movies made, and I think it's due to ego, money, what have you. I think the best TV show or the best film or the best storytelling is in television and in video games. In the 80s, let's say the 80s.
80s had some crappy movies too. A lot of them.
Yeah. But let's say the 80s is where we're holding up storytelling. Let's take Back to the Future, which is fantastic storytelling. Those writers, to get those writers in Hollywood, those writers really only have one place to go, Hollywood. Now they have all these subscription services to go to, all these independent films to go to that are selling their talents or selling their films to the subscription services, and video games to go to. Well, and you got to remember, video games, some of the best stories that we're getting in 2022 are in video games.
Sure. Well, David, this had a big budget. Wasn't it $100 million budget?
Yes, it's $10 million per episode. And I'm sitting there thinking,
$100 million budget for this series, and they can't. I mean, I was looking up, just some of the writers, which I don't mean to call anyone out, but I was not impressed with the history of the writers, like what they had written previously. It was like they wrote episode 9 of some show I've never heard of from 2009. You know what I mean? It's.
Well, I think
with that kind of budget,
I think
spend a little bit more on the writing crew.
I think that's the problem. I think the reason The Witcher did well is they clearly had really good writing, number one. They spent money there, but then they spent money on getting really world-class acting, too. And the acting in this falls... It's not bad.
No, it's not
but
bad.
It's not good. It just... I don't know... I don't know where they spent their money. Like I honestly, again, I think they spent it on the gun sounds.
The audio crew is top
Well,
notch.
they-
And the,
you know,
and the
they're-
explosion graphics.
They probably spent it on marketing and that after show that they're doing that has no purpose.
Yeah, the after show.
It's like The Talking Dead. You remember that? And no offense, yeah, The Talking Dead had a couple cool interviews here and there, but there was really no purpose for it.
super.
You know what I mean? It was just an after show that
Yeah,
didn't need to be
let's
there.
take a super.
Wait, so what is the after show?
It's,
Like I
it's,
said, I haven't.
it's basically like, let's deep dive into the episode we just saw.
But what? There's nothing to deep
so-
dive into.
yeah,
There
So it's
literally
like a
isn't.
DVD commentary.
basically kind of thing.
It's
yeah,
like
it's just
after
different.
Lost, how they have their fan show.
Yeah, it's like that.
Is it like that Cheers episode where they're all sitting up on the stage?
It's like that,
and
yeah.
they just
And they
sit there
talk
and
about
they're
it.
like, "My character is stupid."
They
Fuck you.
interview.
They
people.
did that on this.
They
after-
advertise
it's like
it
an after
during
show.
the thing. It's like a
Oh,
separate show.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm watching it and I'm thinking like the acting, because I'm thinking like, okay, this is big but the acting in the video game stories, I'm sorry, is superior.
No, it is. Well, look, let's go back
The
to
voice actor. I mean, the voice actor.
let's go back to the helmet scene. Right, he took his helmet off to basically be relatable and show compassion, so
Yeah.
they can team up and do what they need to do for the rest of the episode. In Halo Infinite, which I thought the writing team did an excellent job, I really enjoyed it. Master Chief showed compassion and relatability to the pilot in the middle of the game when the pilot breaks down. He did it without removing his helmet. He did it all obviously by voice acting. But what I'm saying is, with good writing,
So
I would
you
argue he
don't-
does it sooner.
I do it, and notice you could mute that, and you can still get that impression
Yeah.
because of how the story
Well, again,
is shown.
I would
was
argue that he
very-
does it at the very beginning when he gently takes the gun from the dead
yeah,
Marine.
exactly.
Pacing,
Also,
and camera work. I'm telling you,
good writing is also knowing when not to write. One of my favorite scenes from Halo is or Halo Infinite is when they find the Spartan that died, and the pilot keeps saying, "What happened? What are you doing?" Cortana is saying, "What are we gonna do?" And you can see him just staring at the pilot, and you can tell he's feeling emotion. Right,
Yeah.
all done with his helmet on. But what I'm saying is, it can be done. The problem with this episode is after that first 15 minutes. The pacing just went crazy. It went. He's the world's or the humanity's greatest soldier. He does what he's supposed to do,
okay.
and then all of a sudden she says, "Oh, you don't think for yourself," and then all of a sudden he goes rogue, and he goes. It's just
Humanity's greatest soldier and also the biggest threat to the rebels, but they never show us any of that. They're just
minus the first 15 minutes. I will give that show the first 15 minutes
15
was
minutes,
really well done.
I was excited.
Yeah, it was really good.
I mean, fireworks don't need a plot. You know, it's
let me
just
tell you.
visually appealing.
Although I do think,
But it's a good
I do
way to
think some of those
capture your
weapons were a
attention.
little overpowered, and in the game, those weapons are not that powerful. Okay,
Yeah. Well, they were. Yeah.
There's no power level when it comes to caliber in this.
in this, it's the Covenant's weapons, and they're like blowing people up. It's like I don't remember that happening, but whoa.
Well, you never played on Legendary.
That's true. That is true. That is true. Anyways,
It's just.
it's again to reiterate this. It's not good. I mean, it's not
It's
bad.
not bad.
But it's just not. It's just not
They're
good.
It's
like I
another
said.
product of mediocrity.
Mediocrity.
The
It
thing
is.
is with it, and
I'll give them a compliment. At least they didn't shove politics down my throat.
yeah, there's that.
There is that.
yeah,
I was expecting it. I mean, that's just what you come to expect.
that
in
was
2022.
nice.
Like,
That was
all right.
actually well refreshing.
All right, how many politicians did they get to write this scene? But no, I didn't get any of that.
Which is
Well, it's
refreshing,
just-
probably. Yeah.
I was telling both Mark and David this. For every good thing they did, like for example, again, I don't mind taking off the helmet, but it's how they did it that was wrong.
Yeah.
It's
The art of
again,
pacing.
there.
is
Yeah,
gone.
it really is. It's there. You don't need. It's just the way they did. I like the idea they were going for. The way it was executed
think-
was not well done.
Yeah, I do-
in that particular
I
scene.
do think the mistake that they make. I mean, just to reiterate, it is writing, and it's writing in this respect. It feels like they're trying to make a very complicated, very in-depth story right away from episode 1, and it's like, guys, it comes off as they're trying to hard.
rush it. Is that what it is? Like
No,
they're
and not
rushing
even.
it?
Well, they do rush it.
Yeah,
but,
the
but no,
last-
but
yeah.
just like you can see where they're going and trying to set it up, and it's like, guys, you're trying way too hard. Like it doesn't need to be. it's the story
Let
of
the story
Halo
tell
is the
itself.
story of
Yeah.
good versus evil. That's it. Like it's not
Well,
a
and
super
even-
complicated with all these characters. So for instance, they do some things with Dr. Halsey and
the
Keys.
Yeah, they're definitely.
And you can see them trying to set up this like conflict inside the higher ranks. And you're like, guys, it's just, you're trying too hard.
Yeah, it's and they're changing a lot of things, which again is fine. I'm okay with this being the silver timeline. I will admit, when the show was first announced, I was very excited because I thought it would be, if anything, we'd start at kind of Combat Evolved. And then as more information about the show came out, we learned that it's actually going to be its own story, and they're going to kind of do, like Mark said, a fresh take on the series. So I got less excited because I was like, that's not gone good in the past.
They needed to hire Joseph Stanton.
Or or if you have the same writers, just show it to a fan of the game series and just let them read it and go, okay, first of all, do not take the helmet off. I mean, come on.
Or if you're going to do it, it needs
let
to
it
be,
lead to something.
It needs to be like the end of the series.
Well, I don't even mind if it's the end of season 1, but let it lead. Like the way he did it here, there was no purpose for it.
Yeah. Well.
And once he took it off, to me, it didn't feel like Master Chief anymore.
Chat,
because there was no build-up.
Chat, who's here live, let us know what you think overall. Did you like it, not like it, or meh?
I do want to say, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I, don't like, but I do want to talk about that first 15 minutes. The brutality that they showed from the Covenant was impressive.
Also,
I thought
the animation of the Covenant, of the soldiers and stuff, I thought that was pretty good.
No, yeah, that was all really good. So the way the show starts out is basically the elites come in and obliterate this town, and David had to cover his child's eyes because legs and heads are flying off from plasma burns.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah,
there's one scene where this girl's running away and they shoot her and her legs get
blown
disintegrated and so she falls to the ground and then they shoot her again and she blows up.
Yeah,
and it's like, whoa.
Well, and then there's another scene where
that's a mercy kill, though. No, think about it.
There's another scene where innocent people are hiding, and the elite opens the door and just looks at
Women
them
and children.
just mows them down.
Kills them all,
which is not not good, but showing the brutality of the Covenant and their distaste towards humans, I thought that was excellent. And showing the power of the elites, how they just came through the door, and they started getting shot, which is because this is the first time the innies are seeing them. And they're getting shot. Their shields are going off. The straight, and even you can't do this in the game, but the elite, the elite that basically shoulder checked the makeshift warthog.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was
you
cool.
can't do that in the game.
No, it was cool.
It would be a cool feature if they had that. But he basically armor locked the vehicle. If you've ever played Reach, and it was really cool. And then the Spartans come in and they do what Spartans do.
Did we read
the
Super Shocker's super chat, by the way, yet? We have not. He wrote in and said, the real question is, was it as bad as the Mario Brothers movie? No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not, again, it's not bad, but it's not good.
Yeah.
But see, that was made in a different time.
If I were
that was bad.
If I were to give it a grade, I'd give it like a C+.
I'd give it I wouldn't give it a plus.
It's passable, but needs improvement.
I'd give it a C.
So
I'd actually give it a C minus.
I'd give it a C+.
Let me ask you guys this then. As a person who was burned out from watching his beloved stories get kind of destroyed, so to speak, I'm really burned out. I mean, everything I've loved as a child has now been recreated a million times poorly. So, should I watch this?
If you go in with...
That's my perspective right now, because like I said at the beginning, I was totally turned off by the fact because I don't want them to change the story. I don't want them to not be fans of the show.
Well,
and that's what they're proclaiming.
I don't think you should watch it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is
disappointed.
The reason I give it a C+ is because there is really cool things that they do. They talk about when Master Chief quote unquote goes rogue, which after Halo 5 I'm not a huge fan of that storyline, so let's hope they make it better. But the lady goes, she says the Soren protocol, right? Which is the Soren protocol. Soren was the first Spartan to go rogue, so they have a protocol. There's a lot of little things in there like that. that are really cool. They use the sounds of his shield recharging from the games. Yeah, it's really cool. They do a little too much first person in the HUD
don't
for
like
my
that.
taste.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, they
it
throw
just-
a lot of first person.
Well,
like-
so
They don't- not a lot, but a
not
few
a lot,
times
but
they flash
they
to
go
it.
into his HUD, and it's like the game HUD, and it's kind of
It
like
feels gimmicky.
it doesn't. Yeah, I get what they're trying to do, but in that situation for a cinematic movie experience, it doesn't need to be done.
All right, let's take a look for everyone listening what the live audience has to say. Brian F. says, I haven't seen it, but I'm willing to give it a try. Carlos Alvarado says, I loved it. Now, Carlos is either trolling us.
No, he might. It's
Or
okay
he might
to have a
genuinely
different
love
opinion.
it. Yeah,
It's
No,
okay.
it's fine. Yeah.
The Black Knight says, meh. Arctic Storm says, not sure if I'll even waste my time with the second episode. Psychotic says, I haven't seen this show yet, but I was very wary from the get-go. Sounds like I'm not missing much. Maybe this is just, maybe I'll just suffer through episode 1, and the rest of the series will get better. The Black Knight says, I'd rather the show's funding go to actual content for the game. I actually don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
Imagine if they put $100 million into
The game.
We probably have Forge by now.
No. Well, let's
Let's be real.
I actually kind of want to talk about that for a bit, but I do want to say there is the reason I give it a C+ is there is a lot of little things that I did like. Like I did like the sounds. The first 15 minutes was very well done. I like the Soren protocol and different throwbacks that they did for kind of that fan service. The one thing,
How can you have fan service if you've never played the game or read the books?
well, I mean, they've
That's what I'm
they've
saying.
obviously read like
No.
the mythos or so. You know what I mean? Someone told them at least what
No.
happened.
What
They
they-
gave them a cliff notes.
What they said,
Because you would only know the Soren protocol if
the
you've
s-
read the books.
In the stuff I read, they were super excited because they had a weekend Halo boot camp on the story. That's what it was told.
well, and
Which-
that's probably all the fan service that are like, there's this guy Soren, which
well,
I actually hear Soren's in the show, so that'll be exciting.
What's
to see.
funny about that point of view shot that you were talking about, where you're like in his helmet, that's something that I imagine that's a boardroom discussion. Well,
I don't think that's fan service.
let's give the gamers something. Let's give them a personal point of view of Master Chief, just like in the games. That's a great idea. Write that on the board. That's what that sounds like to me, but in reality, it doesn't work
Yeah.
because it's not a game. It's a show. It's a movie.
Beast
No, no,
in-
cinematics.
no, I don't like that.
Beast in chat says, if I didn't know Halo, I'd have no clue what happened, and nothing about it would make me watch another episode. As a fan, I liked everything up till the fighting stopped, and then it went to crap. I agree with that, Beast. Brother Buddha says, it's a C for sure.
Yeah, well, and I've seen other things like, oh, if you're not a fan of Halo, you'll enjoy this. I don't necessarily think so. I mean, you may or may not enjoy that, but just because you know Halo doesn't mean you can't enjoy a different or a retelling of that story. For example, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going, but anyway, there's
good
there's a lot of
story is a good
Yeah, a good
story.
story is a good story, right? There's a lot of little stuff they did, like the Soren protocol. There's cool stuff that they did with the sounds. I like the cloaking. Oh, the what when the elites run in. Oh, yeah, that was cool. They did the elite sound. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff they did that I enjoyed. I think one of my
Overall,
biggest,
it's a C plus.
yeah, I think one of my let me just say what my biggest pet peeve. So what they're doing is and again this is all super spoilers. The Master Chief finds a Forerunner relic, and he's given some visions of his past life.
Oh, I will say, the Forerunners and that when they flash over to Charity, or is it Charity?
I
High
believe
Charity.
that's
Yeah,
High
High
Charity.
Charity
Is the Covenant.
When
of
they
Lucifer.
flash over
I
to
believe
High
that-
Charity,
that's the Prophet Mercy.
And the scene in High Charity, it is the Prophet Mercy. That I think is actually the best part of
Yeah,
the show.
that
was
guy-
like, that was like, yeah, okay.
Now, see,
now
I
we're
was-
doing things right here.
That was interesting with the girl.
Oh yeah,
That could be interesting.
That could be
because
an interesting
That
storyline.
could be an interesting story. I don't know
Or it
where
could
it's
be a
going to
Kylo
go.
Ren storyline.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, it could.
because that kind of is what it feels
Yeah,
like.
that could be interesting. That I will get. I agree with that. That part was you're thinking, okay, what are they going to do with this? The problem was that was just like a 2-minute scene, and then it clicked off. So we'll have to see what they're doing with that. But the whole Forerunner stuff. It is basically kind of I think what's kicking off the show, and what I think is probably one of the weaker. They show his past, right, and that's what makes him have this crazy revolution on the bus ride home. And then she says something like, "Oh yeah, I think with my mind," and he goes, "Yeah, you're right. I'll deny orders," and it's just that's kind of what kicks things off. In the canon, the real stuff, the Spartans knew they were abducted and augmented and trained for a purpose.
Yeah, it was no
right?
secret.
It was no secret. And where I'm going at is I think that is a much better story of the Spartans knowing what happened to them and them basically having to deal with it and come to accept it.
Yeah.
And that's where the story is good, because think about it. The UNSC in the canon did terrible things. But the reason, like Dr. Halsey, she's a war criminal because she
For the greater good, right?
Yeah, so this is where it gets interesting. Dr. Halsey's a war criminal because of what she did with the Spartans. She kidnapped them as children and created them into super soldiers. Now, originally it was for the Innies, the insurrectionists, but then the Covenant came. Now, this is what's interesting about that story. They did very immoral things, morally incorrect things.
Dr. Halsey.
Dr. Halsey.
Yeah.
But if she did not do those immoral things, the human race would not exist. So it's that dynamic of
The irony.
yeah, it's very interesting. And I think that is a much better way to tell your story, or at least in my opinion,
they
a more
be
more
going that way.
interesting story
They might
than
be
kind of
going
what
that
they
way.
gave us with what
'Cause
they might be.
Clearly,
Maybe
there's going to be this back and forth.
yeah,
that
maybe,
they
but it just
between the past and the present.
yeah, maybe. But I feel like
Now, in
anyway,
in
go ahead.
fairness, everybody listening, it is getting mixed reviews. I took a look on Rotten Tomatoes. It's pretty mixed. People really like it, or they really don't.
Well, it's already been renewed for a season 2, and I'm not
And
saying
there's some average stuff there. But we did have Carlos in chat. Sorry, I forgot your last name. He said he loved it, and then also in fairness, Game Down Sight says, "I guess I'm in the minority, but I loved it as well."
Yeah.
So you might like it. You might like it.
And I guess-
and again, I don't.
yeah,
hate it.
we're being critical right
It's
now, but it's
just-
not.
Because we love the actual
It's
story.
just not.
We love the games.
It's-
We love the story.
And keep in mind, I went
We want
into
it to
it
be good.
with no
Yeah,
expectations.
neither did I.
Like
too,
low
I went in low
expectations.
because I knew it was going to be
And that's
something
why I
different.
think the first 15 minutes, first 20 minutes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, all right, this
I
is
think-
going to be good.
I
And
think
then-
they portrayed the Covenant very well.
And then they just shift in this storyline about halfway through, and to me, it just nothing happened. Even my wife, because my wife has listened to the first 2 books, and even she was watching with me, and even she at the end was like, I don't know what they're doing.
And look, we're only watching episode 1. I usually try to give TV shows a good 4 to 5 episodes to capture me. So maybe I think there's 8 episodes.
Unless we're talking Wheel of Time, and then I was out.
I watched through the whole thing, and that's probably why I'm not even caring to watch.
That's probably
this,
why you're so
because I
jaded.
got kicked in the balls so
You're
hard.
so jaded.
What's funny about
That's
this
probably
is
what it is.
I'm just kind of looking at it from episode 1. We'll see how episode 2 goes, which from early press releases doesn't sound good, but take that with a grain of salt because reviews are objective.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
You know.
not going to watch it.
Yeah,
after this.
I'm
curious.
gonna finish.
I'm curious where it goes.
Yeah, I am gonna finish the series and see what happens, and maybe after at the end of 8 episodes, I'll have a completely different opinion. Because shows have done that to me in the past.
Yeah.
For example, The Mandalorian. 5 episodes in, I could care less about the show. The last half of the season, I will admit, was really good.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
could be one of those. But comparing episode 1, because I did actually rewatch Forward Unto Dawn today, which is a much less budget.
And very good.
Yeah.
Forward Unto Dawn is
Comparing Forward Unto Dawn.
We should let's make our own Halo
I know.
series. Guys.
Comparing Forward Unto Dawn to episode 1, Forward Unto Dawn was just superior.
Yeah.
It was better writing, which again wasn't necessarily the greatest, but it told a better, more cohesive story. Given that is a beginning, middle, and end, whereas this will be a continuous thing
this
over
will be
8 episodes. So we'll see how that goes throughout the rest of the episodes. But I mean, like David said, and I agree with him, it's not bad. It's just not great. I give it a C+. You give it a C.
Yeah, if you watch the first 15, 20 minutes, the action, the violence, it was like, whoa, yes.
Yeah.
And actually, T-Bucks in chat says the episode was way more violent than I expected, and I love that. I do agree with that.
No,
It was
the brutality.
Out the gate, you're
no,
like,
because the
"Woo!"
Covenant do
Rated
not like
M for mature.
Yeah, no, the Covenant do not like humans, and I love the brutality. But can I shift over to the game real quick? Because can I say one thing going into this week that actually upset me a little bit?
Oh, tell me about it.
Why did the game not have some type of promotional event or a map?
Maybe they knew it was bad.
Yeah, a map or a skin or something like that. Like
Maybe they're distancing.
The reason
themselves.
I was a little
even though
upset
at the
about
beginning it says in whatever with 343 in industries.
Did you
in
see the?
cooperation.
Anyway, Did you see the when it slips to his visor? one of the guys I watched on YouTube, he's a big Halo, he deep dives into all the Halo lore, and he pointed this out. I thought it was really clever. His visor version, it was version 3.4.3.
That's
that's
cool.
kind of funny. 3.4.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyway.
Super Shocker in chat says this could have been a slang dunk. Make Master Chief a bad A and place him in a situation where he saves the world. I agree. I mean, and this could
Hopefully
be.
that's what
they
they're
kind of
doing.
did put him in that
In the
place
first 15 minutes.
The first 15 minutes.
But
for
going
sure.
going back to the game, the reason it upset me a little bit, and we've talked about this before, we're kind of waiting for Season 2. We're seeing what they're doing. I do like what they're doing with Halo Infinite, but for being a live service game and trying to, and basically going along those lines and touting, hey, we are a live service game, these are going to be updates, why didn't we do some type of just event this week that maybe gave us armor that looked like the armor of Silver Team, Silver Team themed armor, or even just drop a new map that looked like the beginning area where the Covenant attacked? I think it was Magi. I know it wasn't, the planet was in one of the books. Mogriel is the planet name. Anyway, whatever. They all got weird names. So, but no, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not asking for like Fortnite style updates where I get an update every week.
Yeah.
But it just made me think, where is the game?
It was a good opportunity.
Yeah,
to
it
add
was.
content
It was.
to a
Where,
game that its criticism is it doesn't have content.
Yeah.
As-
And again, I know we're waiting for Season 2. I do like what 343 is doing with Halo Infinite, the game, but I thought this was a missed opportunity, especially for a game that you keep saying this is your live service game.
I think we're just waiting for Season 2.
No, and I will. I mean,
then
we'll
I
see how
think it will
season.
come back.
I still trust and have faith in Joe Staten, and I like that he's being very honest with the fans and he's letting us know what's going on. But I do hope they shift gears in Season 2 and give us more of that live service that we're used to or want.
We did get news, speaking of classically fantastic games, Witcher, a new saga has begun. That is the blog post that was on CD Projekt Red's website.
If you were able to pull up the website, right?
Yes, which was kind of ironic, considering the cyberpunk.
So a new Witcher game is in development. That's very exciting. They also announced that instead of using, it's a proprietary engine they use,
They use the Red engine,
which
I
is
believe.
theirs, right?
Which is theirs. They are now for the new game using the Unreal engine.
Unreal Engine 5, and they're working in partnership with Epic. And this is the part of the blog post that really stood out to me, or I found the most interesting. They're in partnership with Epic to make Unreal 5 the best engine for open world games. And I'm paraphrasing here.
Yeah.
But I think that's very interesting. I think that's a match well made. I mean, we've seen the graphics and the capability of an Unreal 5. Now let's take Unreal 5 and put it in the Witcher universe. I think there's a giant question mark out there when it comes to CD Projekt Red at this point. I think Cyberpunk 2077 has really rubbed a lot of the shine off of them as a developer, fairly or unfairly. It doesn't matter. I think that's the perception, anyways. Are you worried about the next Witcher? Can it live up to the hype of Witcher 3? Because CD Projekt Red did not.
Well,
Not CD Projekt Red. Sorry, Cyberpunk 2077 did not.
Well, I would think,
They would learn.
generally you wouldn't make the same mistake twice, right? You would think.
Mistakes.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's true. You would think you wouldn't make those. I hope they don't. I do think they are a good studio because of what they've delivered. But the thing is, I mean, Blizzard was a good studio, and they kind of fell.
Yeah, but Blizzard had problem with people keeping their peckers in their pants.
Yeah.
That and a bunch of other
Yeah.
things.
Like, I mean, they
mistakes.
had some human issues.
Those weren't mistakes. Those were
Bad
illegal
choices.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but I hope they don't do what they did with Cyberpunk. I still hope that they make good on their promise, that they're not abandoning Cyberpunk, that they come out with an expansion that blows our minds and just put Cyberpunk where it needs to be. I do get excited for a new Witcher game. I think it's a fantastic universe. I'm really excited to see what they do with it. I don't think they're going to stick with Geralt. I think they're going somewhere new. When the post
Really?
original, oh yeah, 100%.
Well, okay. So they're. What do you mean? Are they going with Siri? What do you think?
Well, so originally people were thinking, oh, maybe Siri, because that picture right there, they basically just showed a picture of a medallion.
We have
And
it on
it's
the screen
It's
now.
covered in snow, And a lot of people were saying, oh, that's got to be the cat medallion, the School of the Cat, which Ciri is School of the Cat. So a lot of people are thinking Ciri. Ciri's a really good character. She was in the third one. You do play as her for a few levels within the game. She's a fun character. She has her own abilities at work. Her and Geralt have a really good storyline. I think Ciri would be a good choice to go forward, but I don't think that's what they're going to do because of something that came out. And, I mean, I guess you could argue Ciri's story isn't done, but I thought they concluded it as well as they could in Witcher 3. So I think you could go a different direction, and I think that's what they're going to do because someone posted to this tweet, that kind of looks like a lynx, not a cat. Yeah. And one of the head community...
Psychotic in chat is saying the same thing.
Yeah, one of the heads of the community, or one of the community manager heads, replied with a GIF, and the GIF was just a picture of I don't know his real name, but he's Keenan from Keenan and Kel. You know, It was a picture of him just nodding yes. So, what's interesting about it being a lynx is there's actually no lynx in the story of The Witcher at all. There's no School of the Lynx. Where the lynx comes from is it's actually a fan fiction of the game. That they did, I think it was on one of the Witcher wikis, but it's a fan fiction of the game. And how awesome would it be if the developers were like, that fan fiction was really good, get on it.
That would be awesome.
That would be like a complete, I think that would just be a complete nod to the fans, like, hey, you guys wrote a cool little fan fiction and we're going to run with it. That would be really cool. I think they're going in a completely new direction. I think we'll get familiar characters because of where that fan fiction went.
Sure.
But I think it's going to be a brand new journey of The Witcher. I even have been hearing some ideas on the internet that I think would be cool. Create your own Witcher. You create a character, and that Witcher or that character becomes a Witcher in the School of the Lynx from this fan. You know.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
I could see that.
I think that would be cool. But I'm just thinking. I've just been thinking all day how cool it would be if they because I mean that's all he said in the tweet. So there's nothing been confirmed or denied. You know. But I mean, community managers. When they write something, there's purpose behind it, So
yes,
there's.
Although, in fairness, sometimes there's no purpose, and people are like.
Sometimes they're just upset that.
No.
He just thought that GIF was funny.
There's been a few times where
don't you all have phones?
Well, there's been a few times where during a video event or something, I just say something because I'm just trying to talk, and people.
They'd
read
dive
more into it, and then a release comes out, and they're like, "See, he referred to it, and I didn't." And they're like, "Yes,
this was a specific reply.
That was deliberate.
This was a specific reply, though." Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen, but I just think how cool would it be if the developers literally went over, they read this fan fiction, and they were like, "This is cool. Let's do it."
I like that.
I mean, isn't that how 50 Shades of Grey came to be?
So I think we're. Yeah, from
50,
Twilight.
Yeah,
right?
50 Shades of Grey was a fan fiction of Twilight.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's cool. Put it on the screen.
That's a movie.
Wow, that's hot. Let's do that.
That's a movie.
You think we can throw that in the movie theaters? Yeah.
Why not?
Not that I think this would be similar, but
yeah.
The Witcher 50 Shades?
No,
50
I don't.
Shades.
Now, most likely we're not going to see this game for a while. It's just in development. That's all that the confirmation was, that it's in development. Spicy, excited.
Yeah, someone probably just put that picture on like the fridge in the lunchroom, and they're like, put it on Twitter.
Spicy, excited for a new Witcher, and do you think they can meet the hype? And how hard is that? I mean, to meet that bar.
It's very difficult. I think this game's 6 years away.
Well,
because of how they delayed. Maybe if they fix all the mistakes, and I think there was mistakes in a lot of like the development side. I don't know if it was with employees or management, or obviously a lot of things broke down with Cyberpunk 2077 is what I'm getting at. I mean, because it couldn't even run on the console they sold it on.
And
that
also may be a factor of why they're switching to Unreal Engine. Maybe it's an easier engine to work with. It's an easier engine to implement things into. Bug fixes, all that. So it might just be easier for them to work rather than their proprietary engine that they have now.
I think it's that far away for a good game. But I mean, Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. I think it's a fantastic series. The world is fantastic. It's one of the best books to games we've ever had, I would say. And if it's done right, David, absolutely I'm excited for it. So yes, if it's done wrong, I'm going to have a whole show where I get pissed off about a whole bunch of stuff on that game, which is unfortunate because I don't like to be pessimistic, but man, 2020 is tough.
Is bad. This is the part of me because of that is hoping that it is
2022.
bad.
Or 2022, I meant. Yeah, 2022. I'm still stuck in 2020. that year sucked. 2020 was a sucky year.
What I would like to see, guys, is where's the next gen update for Witcher 3? I'd love to go back and play.
It's on its way.
I know that's
It's
all.
on
I,
its way.
really
that's all I
would
know
like
about
that,
it.
yeah.
It's on its way.
I want that Geralt hair flowing.
Flowing,
Yeah, that,
baby.
That Nvidia boost.
Yeah, I remember my friend had a computer and he turned on like the hair physics, and he couldn't look at the bears because that fur would really
That frame drop it?
That would drop the frame.
Couldn't look at the bear.
Yeah, because that fur would just.
We do have some questions. We do have Godfall Ultimate Edition that is coming. That's something that we learned this week. If you remember, Godfall had a lot of hype. Then it kind of released on the PlayStation. It's a slasher looter to pretty mediocre reviews.
Are you excited for it?
I am excited for it actually because we're getting all of the fixes. It's like if Cyberpunk was exclusive to PlayStation and we were just barely getting it.
And
Oh,
all
it
the
works.
fixes
Yeah.
And it's all
now,
fixed. Yeah, that's exactly.
I think I'm interested in it because I remember
It's a beautiful looking game.
no.
What
it
game
looks-
are we talking about?
This is
Godfall.
Godfall. It's a slasher. Think of Destiny with swords. Well, actually, Destiny has swords. Slasher looter, I guess. No, I'm interested in it. I'll play with you.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll pull it up on screen so
I'm
everybody can watch
I'm
it.
interested
So
in it.
I just
I'm excited.
again, I mean, I try to take reviews with a grain of salt because they're all subjective.
Well,
But-
reviews nowadays, even with this Halo series, I was reading through some of the reviews, and a lot of people let their emotions get involved a lot of the time with reviews, so it's very hard
Yeah.
to tell exactly. Like, you have 10 out of 10s, and the review is, I just want to see the gamers, get annoyed, those crybabies, and then the 1 out of 10 is, I hate that person gave this review, so I'm doing this review.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
I was actually reading those, and it's like it's very hard.
It's petty. Like,
It's very hard to determine actual reviews, like it went in those mass reviews. And I think the only way to do it is with mass numbers. But then you have the problem of weeding through who's just trolling you and who is intentionally
even-
giving you their real review.
even with mass numbers, you get like review bombs or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get a lot of the reviewers that have, they enjoy agendas when they're put into certain games and stuff like that, and it makes it influences what the game should not be about that. It should be about the gameplay and the mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so when you get I would consider that a review bomb on the opposite scale by critics whose job is to review the game itself, not what the game stands for, I guess. I don't know.
I agree.
So reviews are really, really hard to
the
understand.
world that we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put
I am
it.
giving
But
and-
this version of Call of Duty a 10 out of 10 because I heard the developer cares about saving the whales.
yeah, it's stuff like that. And it's like, but that
What are you talking
has
about?
nothing to do with the game.
What are you talking about?
It's really, really difficult. So yeah, that was even involved when we were talking about the overall score on Metacritic, or I think you were Rotten Tomatoes with Halo,
Yeah.
this TV series.
Yeah.
I was trying to get data a little bit from that too, and it's
It's hard.
disheartening.
It's
I
hard.
can't figure it out.
Well, see, and that's what I'm saying. I think some of these reviews may have imprinted on me a little bit because I mean, I'm excited to play the game. I'm not super hyped for it because I know it came out to very.
Well, I looked at what the reviews at the time and what the complaints were. It didn't get bad scores. It just got mediocre scores.
yeah.
And it was bugs. It was bug related.
yeah.
So that's
So
why
if the bugs are fixed, then it should be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see.
No,
what it's
I
like.
want to give it a try. It's coming April 7th, so.
It is. You want to
But
know one
I'm
game
interested
that I
in it.
have had a flip flop back and forth on and
Flippy floppy.
Flippy floppies. Shredders.
So
is it
have-
Shredders
so
or
have
Shredder?
I, and it's your fault.
Oh, it's my fault.
Yeah, because I was actually really excited for Shredders. Right, let me tell the story. I was really excited for Shredders. I came over to David's house and he just laid into me. He said, "Jordan."
The game sucks nuts.
Yeah, and I was like, and I said, no, I'm excited
Like
for
what
it.
pissed me off is all
no."
these people are like, "This is the greatest snowboarding game of all time," and my problem with it is like other snowboarding games. When you jump into it, it's like, yes, this is snow. Like it just hits right away. This does itself a disservice with menus. Like, get me
yeah.
out of the menu.
Well,
I don't care that we're a freaking YouTube influencer. That's literally the storyline. You don't need a storyline in a snowboarding game. Just let me snowboard. And then the controls are clunky. And then you start playing and you land a trick or you hit like a really good trick and you're like, oh, okay, I see what this is. It takes skill, actually.
Yeah, because I was making fun of David. I said, David, you're one of those people. You have to understand this.
Like, look how awesome that is.
You have to understand this is a realistic game. And
Yeah.
David kept telling me, he says, no, it's a realistic game that does this and this. Anyway, we played at your house.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there and we're playing, and a lot of the things you said are I agree.
Can you pause it right here? Can you pause it right here? Look at this menu.
The
Tell me
menus
what's
are-
going on in this menu. Spicy. Tell me what we're looking at.
First of
here.
all, I mean, they have white font on white snow. That's a no-no. I can't even read that.
Yeah, no. I do agree. The menus need to be overhauled. Not great.
Nope.
The controls are a little bit clunky.
They're clunky. Okay, but
But-
this is my flippy floppy.
but-
The longer you play it, and the more you learn the tricks, it does become
Fun.
a very fun game.
And it's one of
Yes.
those games. This is the problem. I wasn't on Elden Ring this week because of this. I was sitting there and I thought and I really thought this, and I didn't tell you because I want to challenge you this weekend.
Okay.
I thought
I want to challenge.
I thought
I'm gonna get better.
I thought David's snowboarding right now.
I was actually.
Yeah, no, see, and I was like,
was.
and he's getting better than me. and I started playing, and it really is. The more you play this game, don't write this game off in an hour. You really need to sit down and learn how to play this game. There is a gem to be found in this game. It's rough around the edges, but there's fun to be had here. And I have figured out a lot of stuff with tricks.
Oh,
and
okay.
and I have figured out.
Tell me one.
I think
Tell me one.
you almost have to preload your trick.
No, you do. If you
Yeah.
don't hit your jump correctly,
Well, and
they're like
if you start spinning before the jump, it'll be much smoother. It really is kind of a realistic game.
Yeah,
but-
well,
Because that's how it works in real life.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
you
They're
use
just
your
up in the air going, maybe I'll do this. Rodeo.
Yeah, no,
that's
'cause-
how we were playing.
Yeah, that's how we were playing.
And
1080 style, Tony Hawk style.
We were getting frustrated, but we learned like, okay, I gotta preload my tricks. I gotta know what I'm doing, and I'm still not great at the game, but I'm starting to get that muscle memory going a little bit.
Yeah.
But I have been playing, and I think David's probably shredding this mountain right now, and I need to get back.
Yeah,
I think like David, I bet you he can.
Like,
grind
see
that.
this dude's he's not bad. And when it's one of those games that when you land something, it is so satisfying.
Can I read Andrew Cullinane in chat?
Yeah, go ahead.
Fun question mark. Game sucks. Control sucks. Trick sucks. Terrain sucks.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
it starts out and you're like, why is this game getting such good reviews? This is terrible. And then you play it more. And then you're like, oh, I get it now.
I am starting to get to the.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at that point. Like, well, even when we were playing, we were like, okay, the controls are clunky, but why can't I hit this jump? And then it's.
You're back to
I think there's.
5 out of 10. Too much snow.
No, I really.
That's funny.
I will admit, I think there's valid criticisms out there.
No, I had a flippy floppy on this game, and that's what it was.
And I agree with that. I think there's a lot of valid criticisms on here. The one thing I will say is it is rough around the edges, but I do think there is a gem to be found here.
It is. There is a reason that this
with
game
kind of deeper into the game.
There is a reason this game is raved about, and it's because when it clicks, when it slaps hard.
Yeah, and the good kind of slap.
Yeah, exactly. Spicy.
You should try it.
Okay.
It's only like 5 gigs.
By the
so-
way, I forgot to read Captain Obvious, Capitan Obvious in chat earlier, talking about Godfall Ultimate Edition. He says it's basically for people that can't play Elden Ring. Which made me laugh.
That's funny.
Capitan! Good to see you, Captain Obvious. Let's take some questions. The first one, now, Spicy, I don't know if you knew this, but there's a no building mode right now in Fortnite. And Psychotic writes in and asks the question, hey, bros, Fortnite took away its building portion and added some parkour mechanics in its place. I've tried it out, and now it seems like a more arcadey version of all the other shooters. Does this seem like a good move, or does that take away from what Fortnite is? Thanks all you do. And just to confirm, multiple news outlets has confirmed that this no building mode looks like it's going to become permanent.
bold move.
Which to me
Hold up. They're not going to have their old, like, they're not going to have the other section of the game, another playlist, essentially, with building. They're just removing building entirely in Fortnite?
No. The other version's still there, but solo no-build battle royale will be permanent.
Okay, so it's another. It's
so
another
right
game
now
mode.
it's a limited time mode, but it's becoming a permanent.
Okay,
Black Knight says, finally us boomers can destroy the kids.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I mean, Fortnite is, it is a great game. It honestly is.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good game.
I don't know how to say it. It redefined battle royale and paved the way for the genre.
Yeah, it's a good game. Whether you like the style or not of building, it gives you an opportunity to play lazily how it works. Meaning, if you get caught out of position, you can just one by one, and you're safe, and then you can reevaluate. So
More forgiving.
way more forgiving. When you go from like Fortnite over to a game that punishes you hard for bad positioning, like Warzone or like PUBG, I feel like a lot of Fortnite players dislike those games because you're like, dang it, this game sucks because I died, and why you died is because you were running out in the middle of a field with no cover in a position that you should not have been in, right? So positioning is less important in Fortnite, I would say, than the other games. That's interesting. They're getting rid of that. And I really like that comment by the Black Knight. Finally, us boomers can destroy the kids. A lot of us veterans, I don't know, let's call us seasoned gamers. We grew up on CSGO. We grew up on
Halo.
Quake. We grew up on Halo. And positioning in those games is very, very, very important.
Well, and even if you come from the other popular battle royale at the time, PUBG, it was all about positioning.
Correct. Positioning. Yeah.
And then Fortnite came in and did its thing.
Yeah. So that's actually a play to gain more players from
Agreed.
from other circles in the battle royale.
We can say
arena.
demographics.
The demographics, yeah, demographics in the circle of those players that are going to play those games. So,
because
I think it's a good move. I'm actually probably hearing that. I'm probably gonna
Download
Fortnite and play it because it is a very good game.
Yeah. No, it really, and we used to play it a lot too. I'm glad they're still keeping their building mode, because going to the other side, I think building gave Fortnite its uniqueness amongst all the other Battle Royale games. Fortnite had a very specific feel, and I will admit, watching at the higher levels or really good streamers, when they got into those final 5 of the circle and just the speed and the quickness and the craziness of that building and fighting, it was, in my opinion, I thought it was really cool to watch. That being said,
some tournaments I watched, you literally just had no one fighting.
It was just all building.
Just building as the circle pushed them forward, just building, avoiding fighting as much as possible because of how the point system worked and how the tournaments worked. Yeah. It became...
Well, that's the rules of the tournament.
Unfun to watch, in my opinion. And the speed in which they build
you can't keep up with it.
Even when you know what's happening, they build at such speed because it's all muscle memory, and they know the frames on how,
Well, I would be curious
refresh
on
rates.
On their numbers, because I think you're right. This is a move to get more people into the game, but I wonder if
to bring people back.
I wonder if the building has long term, now that, let's say, players are graduating into other games from Fortnite. Maybe they're not getting players in because Fortnite's not this new thing like it once was. And if you think about it, it's a first-person shooter, or is it third-person shooter?
Third-person.
Battle Royale, where what determines your talent in the game has nothing to do with shooting.
I mean, it does. It does have to do with shooting to an extent. But you can, like I said, you can be lazy about it.
Well, but if you don't know how to build, you're not going anywhere. You have to build at that
high end. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, even. Yeah, you do. That's a big part of the mechanics of the game.
Maybe,
so
I'm sure that was a barrier of entry, like a friction for a lot of players.
See, I do agree. If it's just building, of course, that's boring to watch. But when you watch some of the streamers play, and they're building and fighting at that end circle, and it's just this crazy fight and build, it was actually very cool and entertaining to watch. So I do think I'm glad they're keeping the mode, obviously, but I do think it did give Fortnite
We gotta read that chat
its
in a minute.
uniqueness.
Yeah, real quick. Black Knight's chat says, "You know you're on top when your biggest news is turning something off and everyone cheers." And then Super Shocker drops a super chat, says Fortnite does make it obvious that you can bring the building back, but you have to do something to get a separate build game.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, they're two different modes, right?
Yeah,
So you're gonna have both modes.
But it's
From
been
what
pretty
I-
successful.
And don't get me wrong, me personally, I mean, we did play a lot of Fortnite for a while there because it just at the time it probably was the top battle royale.
Well, what I really, really appreciated what Fortnite did, and I don't think they get enough credit for it. I saw some in chat with how they, that you could enjoy it or not enjoy what they did with microtransactions and stuff like that with the battle pass. But what I really, really liked about Fortnite is they actually cared a lot about console players. They put in a lot of settings that console players up to that point did not have.
I'll be honest, they put in a lot of phone settings.
Yeah.
I mean, they
supported their game.
Yeah, they do.
They
Yeah,
supported
do.
the console side of things, and this is around the same time where I was heavily into Overwatch as well, and they didn't. Blizzard did not care for console options in the menu, changing mappings, which Overwatch has done now. I feel like Fortnite pushed gaming forward for console players a lot, and I don't think they get credit for that because they did a lot of things that helped with it. They basically, because building was such a big important part of the game, they made building accessible for console controller players.
Yeah.
And then you started to see like Nick Merckx come out, win tournaments on a controller.
Yep.
Yeah, and you have a lot of now pro gamers on controllers that are able to compete because other games have followed suit and given better options, more options to let people that are more comfortable on controllers actually compete against the mouse and keyboard.
I agree with you. There's no denying that Fortnite did do a lot for the space of gaming and think about it. Fortnite, I mean, a lot of credit goes to Fortnite, Rocket League too, to a certain respect, but Fortnite was one of the first games that fully embraced cross-play and cross-progression. I can play on my
except on PlayStation.
Remember when they forced PlayStation's hand and was like, "Oh, whoops."
Well, and it even
Oopsie. Well, I think that was Rocket League.
Oh, was
that
that
was
Rocket League?
Rocket
Oh,
League,
my
yeah.
bad.
Oopsie, yeah. No, but Fortnite, I can play on my Switch, jump off, play on the computer, and continue all the progress. Everything's still there. It's all my account. And then after Fortnite did it, because of the success that they had and how big they were at the time, you slowly started to see other people doing it. I mean, I do credit to Rocket League as well. Rocket League did a lot of that too at the time, but no, I don't think you can deny what Fortnite has done for the space. Fortnite did the same thing for gaming that I would say like Minecraft did,
Yeah, great questions. I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's exactly.
No, I think it's cool.
I think it's a smart move.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Spicy? Did you?
Did I?
Jordan has. Did you end up watching Nobody this week?
No, I haven't. Yeah,
So good. I love
Yeah.
that movie. I just got.
I was playing Elden Ring.
I literally just got pinged. I want to read this out from NK Woa. He pinged us in the TV, movies, books, and music channel on Discord. He pinged me. Come join us in Discord, guys. And he said, "Oh my gosh, I just watched Nobody at X1 the Gamer. You weren't kidding. This was so good. I never thought Saul could be a badass. Boy, was I so wrong." NK Woa, thank you very much.
That's awesome.
No, and you want to talk about storytelling and pacing? You could turn that movie off, the sound off, and it would be a good movie.
See, and that shows.
Should that be
a
my standard for
cinematographer-
movies?
What's that?
Should that be my standard for movies?
Yeah.
If I can watch it muted.
Well, no, you'll notice it now
Yeah.
because watch movies that are famous because
Well,
they're
actually,
good movies.
I think
So
someone.
what
I
you're
think
saying-
someone said in chat, which if you guys haven't seen this movie, I actually think they're really good. A Quiet Place.
Never seen it.
It's a really good movie. I think there's literally like 4 lines in the entire movie, and it's very suspenseful. It's very thrilling. It's a very good movie.
No, that's. I want you to guys to, as a photographer, cinematographer, etc., whatever. That's kind of how I enjoy movies because back in the day, you could watch a very poor movie, like just a bad movie that you're forced to watch because you're doing it because you love your wife or your significant
Yeah.
other or whatever. because they like it, or I don't know. You could watch that. But if you pay attention to that stuff, where they put the camera, interestingly, how they did the lighting, you can enjoy pretty much anything because most movies handled that pretty well. Nowadays, no. It's hard to watch some movies. So when you tell me that is like the best review you could have given me to watch that, David, that you could mute that show.
Let me tell you
enjoy
then.
it.
Let me tell you. I got some other recommendations from you.
Okay.
You would really like a lot of films in the adult film industry because you can watch those on
You can
mute.
mute those.
You can mute those. It's
actually probably better in the house,
and
to
they're
mute
just
those.
as good. That's where the talent's gone.
All right, I'll have to go do some research. That's where all the talent has gone.
The writing, and
The
those.
writing.
and
The
the
writing.
and
That's
the
where all it's
and
gone.
the pacing.
Well, no, they just don't. They just don't waste their time telling stories anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, great, David. That's awesome.
Yeah, on mute.
Oh, that's funny.
Let's take one more question from the one and only Death Lord Strong. He says, "Hey bros, I got to play a little bit of Tunic, and I got to say it's actually pretty fun. Wondering what all you guys have been playing on Game Pass." He says, "Also, I watched Halo's first episode, and I was unfortunately disappointed. But I'm rewatching and lowering my expectations to the point of just enjoying it. So hopefully that will work. What do you guys think? Do you think
you're a masochist, man?
Do you think this will take off or fizzle out? I think what we're seeing with the Halo series, in my opinion, I can't foresee where they go with this. I think they've overcomplicated, or they're trying too hard.
I don't know.
That's what it is.
So once again, this is me being not interested because of how they marketed themselves. I don't know if this movie is for fans of Halo. I think this movie is just for a general audience.
I would agree with that.
But even-
or
Watching
not
I
movie,
agree.
the TV
But
series.
even after listening, I think it was Beast in Chat. Even if he said, even if I didn't play the game,
You'd have no idea what
You-
was going
you'd
on.
be
In
like-
fact, playing the game, I think, makes it better than it otherwise would be.
yeah. Well, it goes to your point, David. Good storytelling is good storytelling. Halo Combat Evolved. When we all jumped into the very first Halo Combat Evolved, you had no idea where the story was or what was going on. But because of the way they told the story, you slowly got to discover things. The pacing was good. It was good, and that can be done again in this show. But they didn't hit the mark.
So Deathlord Strong's been playing Tunic, which is getting rave reviews.
I'm gonna pull that up. I want to see that.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I've been playing?
Yeah. But he wants to know what we've been playing off Game Pass.
You
But
know
what have you
what
been playing?
I've been playing Shredders because I know you've been playing Shredders. So I've been trying to get better than you.
Yeah, so we have
And
been
there is a
playing Shredders.
multiplayer mode, so when we carve together,
We're gonna
you'll
carve
see-
it. Carve
you
up
can
the
see.
snow. Carve it up, baby. I'll tell you what I just downloaded. Oh, because for those of you who haven't become a member here on YouTube and you can see behind the scenes. Last Sunday I was walking my dog at the park, and I was having these deep. You know, like George Seinfeld goes to the pier and is just
They have the
staring off into
epiphany.
the ocean,
Yeah.
and he has the epiphany. That was me at the park walking my dog, and so I pulled up my phone, and I recorded something for our members only on YouTube, and I told them I'm having this great debate. Do I leave my Series X down in my office, or do I move it up to the bedroom?
For
This-
your mobile gaming stand. You
This
have a mobile
week,
gaming
because I have a
stand.
mobile gaming stand in there. This week I moved it up to the bedroom. Two things happen in my bedroom: lovemaking and gaming, and it is amazing.
Sometimes they're one and the same.
I've tried that. I got shut down. But
It's like George Costanza and
What do you-
food.
yeah,
food,
what is
yeah,
food?
food.
Yeah.
Like the trifecta. He flew close. I flew too close to the sun.
yeah.
But
A lot of Seinfeld
I-
references today.
I did move into the bed, and it has changed. I'm gaming more than I've ever gamed because I could just lay. Because I am a tired human all the freaking time. But if I can lay down in my bed and just game it up, it's a beautiful. I'm shredding the mountains, baby. I'm shredding mountains. But the game I did download from Game Pass because I'm playing it with my son is Batman: Arkham Asylum.
Oh, cool.
I've never played them before.
That's the original, right?
No, sorry, not Arkham Asylum. Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah, Arkham Knight is a little bit violent.
You play that in the bedroom?
Well,
It's Batman.
he's always welcome in them.
And there I am, a vigilante.
I actually this week I showed you guys a picture. I actually went out and found a Series S.
Oh yeah,
Which,
dirty.
by the way,
you got to
why-
share that in the member only chat. By the way, guys, if you want to see my epiphanies that
I
come
do,
to
I
me,
do, yeah.
come to our members
What-
only community tab on YouTube, and you'll be able to see it if you're a member.
Which, by the way, I don't know why or whatever. But again, smart move by Microsoft by having the two consoles, because I see the Series S everywhere. No wonder people are buying it, because it's available.
It's available everywhere.
Yeah, I see it everywhere.
Whatever the hardware inside there that makes it less powerful than the Series X is working for them.
We were just at Best Buy, which, by the way, the reason we were at Best Buy is because it's David's birthday, and we got him a gift.
Oh, it's my happy birthday! Oh man, what is
Yay!
this? Have we gotten Jordan his gift yet?
No, it's on the way. It's in the mail.
By the way, we're going to tell a story about David's gift. Everybody, we got him the Aqua Shift controller.
Great
it's a really
for the
cool,
bedroom.
Yeah, really cool blue controller for the Xbox. Very cool. But we were there at Best Buy.
This is cool.
And,
thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Happy birthday,
happy
David.
birthday.
Thank you. Oh, I'm very excited for
Yeah.
that.
That was a good. That was smooth, Jordan.
Yeah, it
That
was. Yes. But we were at Best Buy, and there was like, how many Xbox Series S? There was like five or six.
There was a lot.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
like, whoa. Anyway, going back to the original story, I bought one because my son and my daughter, to an extent, are actually very excited for the new Lego Star Wars game. So we actually upstairs in the family room where I have this Xbox have been playing a lot of Lego Harry Potter to prep them, because I'm going to play Lego Star Wars hard. I don't want them to slow me down. You know what I mean? So I got to get them ready.
Ooh, Golden Boy.
Yeah, it's a nice controller. David's looking at his controller.
Ooh,
looks
look
good.
at this. That is sleek.
Happy birthday, dude.
Sweet, thank
You
you.
deserve nice things.
Fun
Oh, and
story.
this is the new Series X controller.
Oh yeah,
too.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fun story.
Ooh.
We actually almost got you a Segway.
Oh yeah.
We literally took it back to the shelf.
It was
and
a
picked the-
hoverboard, like the
Yeah.
Knight Rider edition
Yeah,
or something
so
like
Now
that.
I'm a little.
You basically.
Now I'm a little disappointed, guys. You can't
no,
tell me that.
no, it was awesome.
Well, we thought the
It was
price.
awesome.
They mispriced it.
Yeah, because
We're like, this is less than the controller. Let's
this is
just buy
great.
this.
It's literally one of those two things where you put your feet on and you just lean forward and you wheel. And I was like, David would totally use this.
I know.
Yeah.
We had that in our hand,
Yeah.
and then we're like, and no, we're getting this
Yeah,
instead.
and we put it back. We took it up to the cashier. He rang it up and he goes, it's $500.
We're like,
what?
And Jordan was like, I don't care. I'm just gonna get it. I'm like, Jordan, I can't do that.
I'll just do it. It's only $250 if we split it. You know.
Whoa.
I'm like,
Oh, that would have been a gift.
So, I just wanted to see you like ride around on that.
I would have rode it to the gym. Down our we have like a railroad.
Yeah, it would have been
path
awesome.
that is a lazy man's travel
Yeah.
solution to the
So
gym.
While I walk
we,
my dog, that's what
yeah.
I would write it.
So anyway, yeah, funny story. We literally almost got you that, and then we just went back and got the
Oh, man,
controller.
this is
yeah, this is a
good.
nice controller.
Jordan
That's
was almost
nice,
so lazy that he was going to spend an extra
Wait, it's one of those things
$450
like
bucks.
we had to. Like,
We have to walk all the way back there. No, I'm going to pay another $450.
Chief Wiggum says happy birthday with his super chat. Thank you very much, Chief Wiggum. Appreciate it.
This?
Hey, I really feel bad now because Spicy and I literally haven't got Jordan a birthday gift.
It's in the mail.
Okay.
Well, you know what's funny is Mark texted me. He says, "Hey, isn't David's birthday this week? By the way, I still remember yours.
Yeah.
By the way, yours is
It
on the
is-
way."
It is ordered.
Okay.
It is ordered. I'm not even kidding.
There was
This
like
wasn't going to arrive
there
in
was
time.
like 2 texts between me and Mark during Jordan's birthday, and we're like, "Should we get him something?" Yes, we'll go. And then we never went.
Well, to be fair, he had a birthday in one of the most stress-inducing, life-changing events of my life. My kid was born, and there was a whole bunch of stuff going with that and stuff. I was a little preoccupied at the time.
Preoccupado.
Preoccupado, but yeah. But it's on
No,
the
yeah,
way.
this is
Jordan.
a
That is
this is
sexy
a good control.
controller.
I actually might go back and get me this one.
And a Segway.
And one of those Segways that we found there.
This is Golden Boys.
That is true. That did
Little
go
brother.
through my mind though, because it was like,
Well, because I wrote the text like, Jordan, let's go get David's present, and then I was like, also I am on your present. It's on the way.
It's like it's sent right, and then like you can see him typing again.
see, like,
Also,
the
yours
dots?
is also yours is coming. Yeah.
That is funny. By the way, can we pull it up? Actually, did you see the Sega partnership with
Yeah. Speaking of controllers,
the Series? Type in Series S Sonic, and check out these controllers. These controllers, Spicy. I know your palms get sweaty when you play the games.
I'm not necessarily against these controllers. I just don't think they're.
Is it this? Where are we?
No,
looking?
Series S.
Just
Sonic
type in controller afterwards.
controller.
Yeah. So these controllers, guys. So I'll explain it while Mark's looking
There
it up.
it is.
They're basically furry controllers.
It's furry controllers.
They have the
Sonic
the
and Knuckles.
Sonic and
There
Knuckles
it is.
fur on them.
Oh my gosh!
I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a cool idea.
No,
I
can't
don't
use it.
think you can game
No,
with
you
it.
can't
Yeah,
use
I
it.
don't-
It's
I-
totally just for looks.
Yeah, that's,
I'll tell you what you can use though. That Series S looks sweet. Look, that's a
I
gold
do
ring.
like the
That
black
ring-
with the
That
gold
ring's
ring.
the gold ring for that you
series.
collect in Sonic.
I think you can use this. You just got to be careful.
No, you're gonna.
Can you
one,
imagine?
one boss
You
in
can-
Elden Ring? That thing's you gotta.
This is-
you literally
This
have
is
to.
not for Elden Ring.
You gotta
could you
blow dry
imagine,
that
like
thing.
trying to press X and the hair gets in the way and you don't press it on time or something.
Cool. And then
or-
like, what if you accidentally get like a hairball while using this controller? You know, this is.
I know you're gonna have to get like the vacuum.
every time fluff
Like
it,
no, it's
fluff it with a comb with
yeah,
a pick.
like-
every
That's a talking piece you put on your.
no, it is.
coffee
It is a
table.
talking piece, right?
I think it's a fun controller. I just don't think it's a practical
So
controller.
yeah, everyone, what we're describing is an Xbox controller. If Cousin It was,
yeah, that's basically
it's
it.
just
yeah.
a furry, very furry.
It's Sonic and Knuckles. It's their fur.
controller. That's funny. Look it up. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's interesting.
I just can't imagine using it.
Sweaty palm. It really is for someone with sweaty palms, but it would start to
maybe-
stink after a
it's
month.
gonna get gross.
Maybe
Supershark
it's like
says yes.
Maybe
it
it's
will.
yeah no
it'll get
gonna,
all like
it's gonna get real gross.
matted down.
Well, and it's gonna
and-
like it's gonna start to like smell like laundry that's been in your basket for 2 weeks.
Excuse me.
You know what I mean? Like
Maybe
it's
your
gonna,
room already smells like
yeah,
that.
It's
I don't
gonna
know.
get
Yeah.
Unless
What is
unless
this smell? Sorry, it's my controller.
Yeah, my controller.
I gotta wash it.
unless I will give them this. I haven't held it yet or anything. Unless it's like one of those Shamu towels that just absorb
The ShamWow.
the ShamWows. Yeah, you know they just
Wait,
absorb.
can you do this and then give it a haircut?
ShamWow controller.
It's a ShamWow control.
What if it
Actually,
was like-
that's not a bad idea.
What if it's like one of those dolls from the 90s where their hair grows, you know? And then you cut the hair
Over
What if-
time.
yeah, over time. What if there's like a material you put in where the battery is, and then you twist it and it grows more hair. So you could actually give, Tails a haircut. Oh, this is Knuckles. You can give Knuckles a haircut.
I know.
Actually,
I keep thinking.
By
it's
the way,
Tails,
that
too.
Series S, do you get? Is that a thing? 'Cause
Yeah, that's
that
it.
is
So
a
you have
cool
to.
addition.
So you can enter for anyone that wants this. It's a sweepstakes, and you can enter. You can either do it on the Xbox with your Microsoft rewards to enter, or you can go to their website and sign up.
Okay, I'm gonna say something. I don't mean to be Mr. Negativity this podcast episode, but I like the Series S, but I wish I don't like the Sonic and Knuckles. I like Sonic and Knuckles, but I just don't like that picture. If it were just black with the gold ring,
Yeah, that's
that would be cool.
That
is-
would be.
that
cool
would be
too.
good, you know.
That would be cool too. Beast, I believe, sent me a birthday.
Yeah,
gift.
you said you
yeah.
just went over and started opening. I didn't even get to
Check
introduce
this out.
it.
It says, "Birthday boy, game time."
I'm gonna switch over to your camera real quick.
there you go.
Yeah.
Birthday boy, game time.
Time to level up.
Time to level up. Dude, Beast, thank you very much. This is awesome.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Or my thing, and then we got an Amazon box. We always like Amazon boxes.
Hey, while you're opening that package, can
I
we
have
talk
had
about
multiple.
while you're opening that package? I would like to talk about something controversial because I want to bounce something.
Ooh,
off
we're
you
going
guys. Yeah, we're
controversial.
going very controversial here.
Controversial.
What do you guys think of the new Netflix sharing password policy they're coming out with?
Oh, what is that? And what is that? Oh, okay, good call.
The new, if people haven't heard, Netflix is working on something. It's basically the password sharing policy. If they determine through their algorithm or whatever that you are sharing your password with another household, they are going to charge you more money.
The only way to, I mean, isn't that pretty
That's
easy to stop with a VPN?
Well, no, that would actually increase
it,
That
yeah.
would cause it
No,
because
no,
they're like,
well,
oh,
sorry, not a
they're
VPN.
streaming from
Sorry,
Tokyo
not a
and
VPN.
America. Password
Well,
sharing.
but couldn't you just make sure that you're on the same, like, make it look like you're on the same network?
Not how like
So
a
public
traditional
VP
public
yeah,
VPN works. It randomizes.
It would be random IPs in Vancouver or in China or wherever you're putting the VPN in China. I don't
I'm
know.
not gonna lie. I don't like this move by Netflix.
That's anti-consumer
I think it's
friendly.
I think it's not a cool move. They already charge more than any other streaming service out there for their multiple screens, and they need to I don't know, rein it back a little bit.
I'm actually thinking of purchasing Netflix because I'm tired of sharing accounts with people. Let me tell you what's wrong with you when you share accounts.
Well,
with
it
people.
might be cheaper to now buy your own account of
When you
Netflix.
share an account with someone and you don't have your own profile, so I don't have my own profile.
Well,
so
that's the thing. I would give you a profile. I have like 6 profiles for all my family members.
yeah. So
Netflix, don't charge me more, please.
Yeah. So
don't admit that. They just
So
they got
I'm
you.
just using like my.
They got
I
you.
have like my sister's login, and it's like her and a few people, and then my parents are on it.
I
so
use that
just,
same one.
So, yeah, and so I just go back and forth between my mom and dad's. The problem is Netflix does a good job of showing you what you want to see, and so since I
Based
don't-
on what you've watched.
Yeah, and so since I like, if I go into my mom's, it's all these Hallmark movies being recommended to me. If I go into my dad, it's like super violent movies
Yeah.
being recommended to me, but nothing's me. And so
No,
I want my own Netflix just for my own account.
I actually have fun with it because I'm on that same account. Netflix is going to charge us more now. But I do the same
That's
thing,
stupid.
but I use it to my advantage. I pick crazy shows for like our brother,
purpose?
my sister, and then
On
our dad.
purpose?
I actually don't touch my mom's shows because I just feel like that's going to cause an argument later. So I just
Yeah.
I leave that profile alone. But the other 3 profiles, I go in there and just
Check this out. It's a gamer mug.
Oh, that is awesome.
A game over mug. Is this from Beast as well?
Yeah,
Beast. The game over mug. This you want to talk about a talking piece? This
That's a talking
This
piece.
is a conversational piece right here. Yes. Thank you very much. And then gamer socks, baby. I don't know if you can see.
Hey,
Here we go.
alright.
Here we go. We'll show this way.
Those are nice and vacuum
Gamer
packed.
socks, baby. I'm wearing
Very
these. I'm
cool.
wearing these to church with my suit.
Can I see those real quick?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Beast. And last but not least,
Oh, that's what
we got a sign that says "Keep out, gamer at play, battling enemies, defeating end bosses, smashing cars, mastering moves, blowing stuff up. Do not disturb. Leave food and drinks at the door and enter
That's
at
a-
own risk."
that's a cool
Yes, this is good because I actually have my own like down in the dungeon
Yeah.
place.
Cool.
There it
Happy
is.
birthday, David.
Oh man, this is so cool.
Episode 404 was
Actually,
your birthday.
Beast makes a good point. This is now good for the bedroom.
Beast, these are awesome.
Yes, thank you very much, Beast. I
yes,
appreciate
David had
it.
a birthday.
You are
this
the man.
week. He is now 30-something. I don't know.
Neither do I. Thank you.
I know exactly how old he is. You want me- I'm not-
38?
Nope.
I'm 30, so you're 38.
Nope.
Or is that our sister?
No, that's correct.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
March 24th, 1984.
Wait, that would be younger than me.
1984?
Oh, I thought you said 94.
1994.
1994 was my birthday.
Wait, wait, wait.
1994. The year after Jurassic
The
Park.
year after Jurassic Park. Have you seen the YouTube videos of people that will play Jurassic Park as their wedding song? It's
No.
hilarious, and it is better than the wedding song, the wedding march.
We got to watch this after the show. I would like to see this.
And then like everyone's crying, and like the bride's walking down.
That's fantastic. It's a good one.
Do you
Yeah.
hear like a roar at the
That's
end?
John Williams.
Have you seen the one where this high school kid is playing? Is it Star? Did John Williams do Star Wars as well? He did so
Yes.
many stuff. Yeah.
Anything you
Anything
can
good?
know a John Williams song by
Anything
anything
epic?
that instantly you think of Indiana Jones or instantly.
Yeah. So this high school kid, plays a trumpet outside of his house, and he comes out and he's all happy that he's playing his music, and he's like, "Yes!" It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
They do move and hurts. That's funny. Well, cool.
Anyway.
All right, everybody.
Is there anything else we need to talk about? Or-
No, that is
I
it.
think
Thank
we
you, everybody,
covered
for
it.
listening. Don't forget, come over to YouTube. Leave a review on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and join us every single week. It's just a blast hanging out with you guys. Captain Obvious, the roar for the guy who's been eaten by marriage. Yes. Thank you, guys. We love hanging out with you each and every single
your
week.
present is coming.
Oh,
Your present is coming.
Check the bottom of the socks. There's a little message.
Oh, there is.
Warning. To avoid danger, keep this for babies. Do not use this bag in crypts. This bag is not a toy. See you guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye, everybody. Oh, look, it's Naked HD. Welcome back, Naked. Hey, Beast. Beast, are you still there? Are you still there in chat? I just read the socks. I'm gaming. Do not disturb. Awesome. So awesome. Hey, thank you very much, guys. Here's to our supporters. There's Beast for 20. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next week.